Well, the Republicans got what they wanted as of just this morning, and this is relatively breaking news. Representative Ilhan Omar has been kicked off of the House Foreign Affairs Committee for, well, they would say a whole bunch of BS reasons. No, she's a Muslim, she's a woman of color. Those are your reasons. She is notable and progressive, and thus they hate her. And because the Democrats were almost forced to take people like Paul Gosar and Marjorie Greene off of their committees, the clock was ticking for the revenge. And so Ilhan Omar has been kicked off. There had been some Republicans, including Nancy Mace and Victoria Spartz, who had said they weren't gonna do it. Actually, Nancy Mace, I think just yesterday said, there is nothing that Kevin McCarthy can say to me that will get me to vote for this, except for the thing that he apparently said to her because she voted for it. He came up with this BS thing about, okay, so we'll kick her off now, and then in the future, we're gonna have some sort of process where there will be guidelines. And all of these people who are like, no, this is absolute BS. You're not kicking her off because you don't like a tweet that she sent literally 4 years ago. Now said, oh, in the future there will be a process. Okay, well then I guess I'm okay with it. And so all of those Republicans that we gave some preemptive credit to deserved literally none of it. One person, Republican Representative Dave Joyce, voted present. So that's what passes for bravery, I guess, on the right. All the Democrats, thankfully, supported Representative Omar and voted her, keep her on that. But no, she has been taken off of it. She gave a speech stressing, her origins as a migrant from Africa. Says there is an idea out there that I cannot have objective decision making because of who I am, where I come from, and my perspective. My leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. And I already preemptively look forward to her being returned to that committee when something resembling sanity comes back to DC. Maz, what do you think about this?
Well, the clown show has started. I think every session in Congress should start with that theme. Because it really is just a joke. Again, listen, let me first start out by saying, I don't know Ilhan Omar's qualifications to be on this committee, but I'm guessing that she's more qualified to be on a committee than, let's say, Marjorie Taylor Greene or Jim Jordan or Paul Gosar or Chip.
She might be onto something.
Yeah, just go down the line. I mean, these people are goofballs, total goofballs, and it's so flagrant and obvious why, as you said, Ilhan Omar has been targeted. Again, maybe she said things in the past that she shouldn't have said, and there's ways to reprimand Congress members for that. But to go after her the way they did, clearly it's a revenge hit for Marjorie Taylor Greene and Gosar being kicked off their committees for, by the way, they were talking about violence against other members of Congress, which I think is definitely a line you should not cross and you should get kicked off the committee for. They're also really stupid. So they probably shouldn't have been on committees in the first place. And they're really, really stupid, so they shouldn't have been in Congress in the first place. But now I'm starting to think you can be really stupid and be in Congress. I mean, if nothing else, this Republican class gives us hope. You can be stupid, you can lie like George Santos, lie and be stupid. It's just ridiculous. And by the way, again, how short-sighted they are, because Kevin McCarthy too is not the smartest person out there. It's very short-sighted because now the Democrats can come back and say, oh, you guys said something we didn't like, so we're gonna kick you off committees. I mean, this is why nothing ever gets done in Congress, because now it's become this crazy, like it's closer to the World Wrestling Federation than a body of politics that's supposed to move us forward.
Yeah. Well, I will say, as someone who just recently started watching wrestling again, do not besmirch the WWE by comparing it to that den of villainy in Congress.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, I see Diana Vaccarelli sent us a super chat. Thank you, Diana, saying AOC had a powerful speech on the floor today. I recommend you watch. We will, and we'll almost certainly talk about it because she spoke out in defense of Representative Omar. This is just an Islamophobic racist attack against a prominent woman of color. That's all it is. It is something that they are giving to their white conservative audience and said, look, we have taken this person out. You hate them. You want them to be ejected from the country, perhaps killed. We can't get that yet, but what we can do is we can take her off the committee. And so that's what they've done. It is just an insane partisan act of revenge. That's it.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.